Hey guys, it's Ben again here on Bullet Points. Today I want to talk to you about something that I think is pretty important, and it's preparedness and proficiency. Anybody can be prepared. It takes very little to be prepared. It takes a lot more to be proficient. So what I mean by that is, like, you can have a fire starter. You're prepared if you have a fire starter. If you don't know how to use the fire starter, then you're not proficient at it. So in an emergency situation where now you have to use that fire starter, you're going to be a lot less proficient at it. It's going to take you longer to start a fire. You might not even be able to start one at all if you've never taken the time to get proficient at something. And when it comes to firearms, it's the exact same thing, at least in my eyes. And what I mean by that is anybody can go out and buy a gun, at least here in the United States, as long as you're not a felon. Anybody can go out and buy a gun. But not very many people take the time to get proficient on said firearm. I believe that you should be cross-trained on as many different platforms that you can get your hands on. But you should be proficient at least one. So for me, and it's strictly because it was my first semi-automatic firearm semi-automatic rifle that I ever bought was an AR-15 platformed rifle. And that's probably the same with the large amount of people here in the United States. And because of that, I've become very, very proficient on the AR-15 platform. Now, I own AKs. I know the AK platform very well. I have CZs, semi-automatic CZs. I know those platforms fairly well. I've got, I'm trying to even think. Most of my semi-auto stuff is AR. I've got Ruger semi-autos. I'm fairly proficient on that. But anyways, I'm getting at is, I think everybody should pick a platform and become very, very proficient on it. For me, like I said, it's the AR. And in particular, it's one AR in of itself. This is my Palmetto State Armory AR-15. I bought this. This is the PA-15 multi, which means it can shoot 2.23 or 5.56. I bought this rifle 14, 15 years ago now, and it was the first semi-automatic rifle. I bought it at Gander Mountain. There's a flashback for some of you older guys. And I have put thousands upon thousands of rounds through this gun. It is not a stock Palmetto anymore. The only thing that's still Palmetto about this firearm is the upper and lower receivers. It's got a Geisley two-stage trigger in it. It's got a Bravo company. No, this one's still got the Palmetto bolt. It's my other Palmetto that's got the Bravo company in it. So that means this one has the Bravo company buffer and buffer spring. I did that because I didn't like the sound of the stock one. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I didn't like the sound of it. I've got an EOTech sight on it, and this is the one that takes the 2 AA batteries. I specifically went for that because, again, in a shit hits the fan scenario, most of these run on the 1, 2, 3 ABC batteries, and those can get really hard to find. But I can pop open almost any remote control in the United States and get AA's. It's a very, very nice sight. I've got a Magpul pop-up rear sight that actually pops up high enough that I can see through the EOTech to the front sight post. Should something ever happen and this fail, and I don't have time to take it off the gun, which literally takes 3 seconds. It literally takes 3 seconds to pop this off the gun. It's just a thumb screw, and it's off. But should something happen that I can't take it off, that actually pops up high enough to see through the sight. So I have a second form of sighting backup. It's got a upgraded charging handle with the bigger This gun is clear with the bigger handle on it for easier charging. I've got the Magpul extender for the mag release. This isn't necessary, but I do really like it. I've got a SureTech light on the front, Magpul foregrip, and I don't remember what brand this is, but a front grip. So I've also got the Magpul single point sling. I've got the single point downstairs for it, and a Magpul grip. CCA buttstock, or CAA buttstock, sorry. I went with this one because it's got a little bit of a bigger pad on the back. It makes it a little more comfortable to shoot. Not that this gun has a ton of recoil. And I got the larger finger well loop there. But I set this up for me. Everybody's going to set their rifles up differently. I mean, I have a bunch of ARs set up differently. Everybody's going to pick a different brand. I've got a Palmetto State Arms. A lot of people have issues with Palmetto. I'm one of those people. My issues with Palmetto are personal issues, not functional issues. Like I said, I have thousands and thousands of rounds through this gun. The first year I bought it, I probably put over 2,000 rounds through it. I was at the range, that felt like every other day. And I've put thousands of rounds through it since then. Functionally, it's never failed me. Maybe once or twice I had a feed issue, and that could have been up to the magazine, not the rifle itself. So reliability, I don't have any issues with it. Maybe I'll go into a deeper conversation later about my issues with Palmetto. But anyways, I own several of their rifles. I've never had issues with any of them. I've even got one of their 308 AR-10s. I've also got Colts. I've also got Bravo companies. I've also got Wasilla Arms. I've also got, I'm trying to think of what, I've got a bunch of different brands of ARs. This one just works. I'm very familiar with it. So what I'm getting at is just get proficient on one. I know just through muscle memory alone, I could take this gun into a stressful situation and I can run it no problems whatsoever. I can unjam it, I can field strip it, I can put it back together. And that's what I recommend for anybody to get proficient on a firearm. Go out, shoot it, bring it home, clean it, tear it apart, put it back together, take it out, shoot it, bring it home, take it apart, put it back together. Get proficient with it. That's what I mean by proficiency and preparedness. You can have an AR and be prepared, but are you proficient at it? When shit hits the fan, are you going to be able to grab it and use it in a proficient manner? And do that with whatever platform you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with the AK platform, do it with the AK platform. If you're comfortable with that with a 1022 Ruger, do it with a 1022 Ruger. But get comfortable and get proficient with one platform. I like the AR platform myself because, again, I guess it's an American platform. The aftermarket world for it is insane. Anybody who's in the gun community and anybody who's ever been around these knows that the aftermarket world for them is insane. Everybody and their brother makes an AR. Think of a gun company, they make an AR. It's crazy. Like, my dad is a huge Smith & Wesson fan. He has a Smith & Wesson AR. I got a buddy who's got a Ruger AR. I don't have any Ruger ARs, but that's what I'm getting at. And then when it comes to ammo for these, you can get them in 308, 223, 300 Blackout, 22 long rifle, 50 Beowulf, 6.5 Creedmoor. You can get them in any caliber you want, so you can get a caliber you're comfortable with. I personally would just stick with the 223 5.56 because it's one of the most popular rounds in the United States. Again, you can walk into any gun store and pick them up. You could walk into probably half the houses in this country and they're going to have a box of 223. So that's why I really like this platform. That's why I went with this platform. They're very easy to tear down. They're very easy to clean. It's a gun you can get proficient at very quick. They're very accurate for what they are. In my opinion, they're way more accurate than an AK. Arguably, the AK's got better stopping power because it's a bigger round. It's a 7.62 round compared to a 5.56 round. This round's traveling at twice the speed of an AK round. But here nor there, I would go with an AR platform any day of the week. Don't get me wrong. Shit hits the fan, somebody hands me an AK, that's what I'm going to use. But that's what I'm talking about, getting used to multiple different platforms. We'll go into that topic now. You never know what's going to happen. You could be out on the road, shit hits the fan, and I don't know what circumstance this would happen in, but somebody hands you an AK-47. If you've never used an AK-47, could you figure it out? Probably. Would it take you some time? Probably. You know, if you've ever seen Lord of War, it's a gun so easy to use. A child could use it, and they do. But there's a learning curve. So if you get the chance to go to the range with a friend who's got an AK and shoot it, do that. If you get the chance to take one apart and put it back together, do that. Even if you only do it one time, at least now you've done it. You're not proficient in that platform, but at least you understand it. So that's kind of my thing on that. And I would do that with handguns. I would do that with rifles. I would do that with shotguns. Anything you get the chance to fire, fire it. If you go to the range and your buddy's like, hey, you want to shoot this? Hell yeah, I want to shoot that. I don't care if you're afraid to shoot it. Give it a try. It doesn't hurt to run around through something. But I also forgot about this for this gun. This is something else I did. I was just sitting here thinking about, should both my other sight platforms fail, there is a set of just hard plastic backup sights that slide down in this Magpul handle. Because the gun's worthless without its sights. But I have a lot of money into a cheap rifle, but it's because it was my first one. I don't have this kind of money into any of my other Palmettos. I said it was, I think I paid $700 for it like 15 years ago. And I've probably got about another, this alone was, I think when I bought it was $650. This light, you can see it's very well used. I really like this Surefire. This Surefire was probably $300, $350. So just these two alone is what the cost of the gun was. But anyways, let's go back to the original topic. That's what I was talking about between being proficient and prepared. You can be prepared to the moon and back, but if you're not proficient, you're going to be coming in at a disadvantage. Me personally, what I did is I went and got extremely proficient on the AR platform, and then I went to handguns. Well, I did this all at the same time, but I picked the Glock and I picked the CZ pistols. And I have put thousands of rounds through both of them. I've stripped them. I've put them back together 1,000 times. If you put a Glock or a CZ pistol in my hand, I'm going to run it like anybody else in the world. I have a lot of other platforms. I've shot them. I've taken them apart. I understand them. But Glock and CZ is what I'm going to be the most proficient at. Again, everybody should do that. When it comes to shotguns, Mossberg 12 gauge, that's what I'm proficient in. I own other models. I own other brands. But when it comes to the gun I'm going to grab, if I have to grab a shotgun, it's going to be a Mossberg 12 gauge. That's another very common gun that I'm going to guess probably half the houses in America have in them. They probably got a Mossberg 12 gauge. But you should do that with every part of your life. Be prepared, but get proficient in everything. I've really taken that motto to heart. I had somebody tell me that Actually, it was the guy I bought this sight from. I bought the sight on the secondhand market. Really, really cool guy, ex-Army. And he told that to me, be prepared, but get proficient. You can have everything in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, it's useless to you. So I guess I'll wrap that video up there. I just wanted to make a quick talking point about that, maybe more a little bit of a rant. But I just feel like that's something that I think everybody should do, and I don't think enough people do. I've met so many people over the years in the gun community, just in the general community altogether, where they go out and they buy an AR. They put 30 rounds through it, which is better than nothing. Don't get me wrong. It's better than nothing. And then they go and they stick it in their closet, and it sits there for 10 years, and they never touch it again. But in the back of their minds, they're going, I have an AR, so I'm prepared. It's better than nothing. But in a high-stress situation, are you going to be able to run that gun to the fullest of your abilities? That's what I'm getting at. Are you going to be able to swap mags? Are you going to be able to clear a jam? Are you going to be able to field strip it in a hurry should something fail? I realize the odds of something happening are low, but it's never zero. So be prepared and get proficient. Thanks for tuning into this video. Like and subscribe. I'm a new channel. I need all the help I can get right now. Questions or comments, drop them in the messages. Questions or comments, drop them down in the comment section, and I will do my absolute best to get back to everybody, which right now, because I'm in a new channel, probably won't be that hard. Thank you guys, and have a great day.